everybody. Yeah, if you're waking up to conflicting information when it comes to the market and housing, buying, selling condos, we're all confused. Toronto Life, House Wars, that's the cover, that's the hot topic. Here to take us through it is Denise Balkissoon. Really interesting reads from, they're calling it the condo apocalypse, to the super hot bubble in the downtown core when it comes to homes. So has the bubble burst? Will it burst? We heard last week that it is bursting, and yet we see the supply is not there to meet the demand when it comes to buying a home.
Right, so this article is about houses, and in terms of houses, it still seems pretty competitive. I think condos are softening. There are a lot more condos for sale than there are houses.
So you'd say right now, if you're in to buy a condo, it's the time. If you're in to buy a house, hasn't really softened yet.
It doesn't seem like it, not from people I'm talking to.
And you go into detail about these bidding wars. There's actual bullying happening with the bids and bribery. What kind of bribery?
One of the women that I spoke to who didn't win in a bidding war, I guess her price was very close to another bidder, so the other bidder threw in a pair of leaf tickets.
Oh, they thought that would do it. That would close the deal.
And apparently it did.
Really?
Yeah.
And what bully tactics are happening?
So if a house has an offer date that's set, let's say it's for tomorrow, if I want to put in a bully bid, my agent will call the selling agent today and say, no, we want to bid today. Will your clients look at a bid today? And that gives me the chance to make a higher offer and get all my legal papers in order, whereas the other bidders might not have a chance. They might not have their financing in offer, and the plan is to take the rug out from under them and not give them a chance.
Well, and to speak to how hot that is, and to your point, a lot of people are just throwing in bids and they don't even have the usual, I guess, like inspectors coming in to make sure that they don't care. They just want it at any cost, even if it's going to fall out from beneath them foundation-wise.
Well, if they only have a day to make a bid, then maybe they don't have time to get a home inspection. Some people are trying to squeeze them in, but maybe there's just not time. And also, if you're planning or anticipating making 5 or 6 bids on houses, you're going to have to pay $300 for a home inspection every time until you get a house.
So if people are looking to sell right now, because, you know, last week we heard, oh, that's it, the bubble has burst, it's going down at least 2 to 3%, and will continue this to upwards maybe 10% in the next 3 or 4 years. Okay. You're saying right now it has not corrected itself, so now is the time to sell your home. And what could you look to make, or what are people making on average?
I don't think you can expect a really crazy profit on a subpar house. I mean, you can't sell a crummy house and expect it to go way over. But if you have a decent house in a decent neighborhood, I think it's going to go for at least asking. It may not sell as fast. I mean, it is summer, that's a slower time. But I think some of the agents I was talking to last week said within a week or 2 weeks, if it's a decent house, it's going to sell. And
they're saying $100,000 above asking on average, which is unbelievable. And what you want is those bids, and unfortunately, that banter back and forth to be able to get the highest winner to bid.
Yes.
And you're also giving an example of how some people are really sticking to their asking and taking advantage of the market. There's one gentleman who just wouldn't let it go.
So a first-time buyer that I interviewed for this piece, his name is Toby, and he was one of 3 bidders. And I think the house is around $470, and he ended up as the highest bidder at $492. But I guess the seller had this psychological idea that he was going to get $500,000.
Okay.
So he didn't want to take it, even though it was the highest bid. And he chewed out his agent, and his agent went out to the car where Toby and his agent were, and was just shaking and stuttering because he was so nervous, having been yelled at by his client.
So the general consensus is, if you're looking to buy in the downtown core, now is the time to do it, because in spring it's expected to actually come back up again.
Well, that's usually what happens. We don't know what's going to happen in the city or the world between now and the spring. That's usually what happens.
It's just unbelievable to see that it's been years where people are saying the bubble's going to burst, and then we saw what happened in 2008 in the United States, and it really didn't affect us. I guess that's a good thing, but it does need correcting. So condos are in trouble right now.
It seems that way. I mean, there's a lot of condos, there's a lot of condo buildings that are opening in the next couple of years, so there's going to be a lot of supply. That just means it's less competitive.
Yeah, for more information, everybody, and good luck to you if you're looking to sell or buy, torontolife.com. We all feel your pain, and we've all been there. It's a tough time. Right now, over to Tammy in the newsroom. Thank you.